And we're back with the practice part of today's session. So you'll see there's a bit of a flow going on with all of our sessions that we have planned for you. There'll be a bit of a warm-up, a bit of a skill session, and then a workout will be in the end. This is the practice section right before our workouts. This is where we want to look into our movements, look at it as a skill so we can learn something new and then practice it for later on in the workout. And it also gives us an idea of how we're going to scale or tailor the movements to suit you the best. So what I'm going to go through is two skills for the day. One's going to be bracing, which is talking about our core strength and how comfortable we are controlling our midline so our spine doesn't get all jiggly when we're doing things. And the other one we're going to be looking at is hinging, which is using a brace position to push our hips back and stand tall. Hinging is also, it develops further into squats and deadlifts later on. But to start off with, we're just going to look at hinging. Now, bracing is the foundation for all movements. It's our ability to stop our spine from rounding or from arching. And the way we're going to learn this is by lying on the ground. So, the best thing about the ground is, depending on where you are, it's flat. And what we want to have is a position where we're lying on the ground with our legs down flat, our head on the ground. And if you lift your hands up and over your head, or as far as you can have them bent if you're getting some discomfort from the shoulder joint. What you're going to notice is your ribs are going to lift, and you're going to feel that your spine moves, okay? It's going to want to arch a little more than what it should. Now, the way we're going to get a feeling of how we control this is we're going to bring our knees up, one up at a time if we need to, and then we're going to bring our hands forward, and if we have a little breath and then try to look down at our toes, you'll notice that our spine will move every time we do that look down to our toes. Okay? Relaxing, we'll go back through it opposite. So head down, hands down, legs down, we'll come up again, knees up, hands up, look down at our toes so I can see my shoelaces, I can wiggle my toes around, and I'm quite comfortable knowing where they are. You'll also notice that my legs are at a nice 90-90, so I'm not extending them super tall, and I'm also not tucking them in tight. And my hips are at 90 as well here, so my knees aren't curled up to my chin, and I'm also not in this half-hanging position, which is actually harder to do. The 90-90 is going to be the most comfortable position for your hips to sit in. Okay, I'm relaxing. Hopefully you weren't holding for that whole time. What we're going to do is do a couple of brace holds and maintains. Okay, so one thing I want you to do for the first two sets, we're going to do it statically, and for the second two sets, I want to see if you can move. And again, take notes if you get discomfort and pain, or you find this is really, really hard to do. A nice scaling from 6 to 20 would be nice to give us an idea. So, the first two, we're getting our phone out. We're going to sit for 20 seconds in that brace position. What I want you to do is tuck our knees up, bring our hands up, tuck our chin in, and count to 20. Okay? While we're here, it would be awesome if you could maintain breathing. So if you go... It's very tempting when we're doing this brace position to do a breath hold where we're going to help ourselves tighten up through the core. If we could avoid doing that, it would be the safest option for our bracing. So what I want to have is two sets of 20-second holds in that position, have a little rest, see how that feels. Then in the next two sets, because we're going to do 4 sets in total, I want you to start moving your arms. Okay, just for that first one of the second two, we're going to come up to that position. We're going to bring our arms up. We're going to tuck our eyes up, check where our toes are. And from here, I just want you to bring one hand up and overhead, and then bring it back down, and then bring our other hand up and overhead, and bring back down. I just want you to flow through those two movements for 20 seconds. You'll probably get 6 in total, thereabouts. And I want you to be thinking, how was my body reacting to me lifting my arms? Okay? One thing that could happen is as we find that brace position and we bring our hands up, we may find that our body wants to lean back with the arms. Okay, so we're losing that shape that we're trying to maintain. So I want you to bring your arms back as far as you can until you feel something change. And what's more important than having an amazing brace is knowing when your brace changes. So if you're unaware of when it's changing and you don't have a good mind to back connection, it makes a lot of other movements a lot more difficult and dangerous to do. Okay, so we do it one set of 20 seconds. Just letting the arms flow, and if you can read my mind, you're going to know the next step is going to see if our legs can flow the same way. So, on our last 20-second hold, what we're going to do is tuck our knees up, bring our arms up like a zombie, come down and check our shoelaces. Then what we're going to do is see if we can get our heels to touch the ground, and then come back up to that same 90-90 position. and then bring the other heel down, touch the ground, back to that 90-90 position. Same 20 seconds or about 6 in total. The legs are more challenging than the arms. That's why I started with the arm side of this. So you'll notice that you may become more breathless, you may get that pressure in the head, you may find that temptation to hold your breath as you're doing it. And what I want you to try to do is fight against all those temptations. So I want you to find a natural breathing rate and mindfully control the legs. If we can't get the legs to the ground without our spine opening up, so let me show it looks like if it does open up. Checking my shoelaces, I'm braced. If one heel comes down and my whole body needs to arch up to let my hip come down, it means I'm changing this midline position. Okay? And from there we'll stop. Okay? Good movement is better than movement. So, from this bracing as a skill, we will have done 4 sets of 20-second holds altogether. And then from there, we're going to look at changing the rest of our body movements, but maintaining what that neutral spine is going to feel like. Okay? I'm going to travel over to the wall. I'm going to start and stop this camera. And I'm going to show you what our next skill we're going to look at is going to be.